Episode 1, talk about the episode, talk about the series, do all that. Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Black and White Monochrome Legacy series. Hello, my name is Lonnie Begay. I am a landscape photographer and I'm currently in the development of my current project, which is a black and white monochrome series called Legacy. Being that it is the new year, Happy New Year's everybody, there was a certain moment in the year 2021 when I realized that the photos that I'm taking kind of don't really have a theme. It was a difficult time to actually dive into that type of theme and what that theme could be. So to begin with, about this whole series and what's going to be going on with it. It's a year-long project and I'm basically going to be taking photos along the way to the point where what I'm capturing is not only photos of home around here, photos around the reservation. The best way that I could actually comprehend it is that with each image that I actually take, and with a lot of photographers out there, they'll even speak about this too, where that each photo actually means something and has a story behind it. Each of them bring a different emotion, and each of them have a different characteristic that is seen from another individual, Not only am I sharing the perspective from myself and what I see within the photo, but I'm also wanting to have it as a welcoming phase for everybody who follows me on Instagram, to where they can either comment or they could just interact or anything like that, So to recap on it a little bit, every weekend, Saturdays, between 5:30 to 7, I'd say, it's going to be given the rest of that night into Sunday and on into Monday mornings, giving that time to look into the photo and what emotions actually coming from a lot of other individuals. And that's how the project is going to go this whole year of 2022. There's going to be so many other photos that are going to be that I'm not even aware that I'm going to be taking later on down the road. And with the photo that I posted on Instagram on Saturday, January 1st of 2022, which is this photo exactly. So with this photo, when I took it, I was actually up at Sayet, which is a pretty normal place to go here in Chingli. It was probably 14 degrees, it was 7:30 in the morning. And I'm out there with just a tank top, shortcuts, and a thin jacket. And then I just ran up there, tried to get some photos of Chingli, but at the same time, the canyon view. And what I was actually able to capture was water actually flowing through the canyon. And usually, to me, that's originally a beautiful thing to actually see, because to me, seeing water through that canyon is something that reminds me all the way back into my childhood. And that's what means a lot to me of why I wanted to capture the photo. And with this photo, as you can see, there are old trees, the old branches in the foreground. And then you got the water flowing straight through and then along the whole streamline. However, there's this separation between a living, flowing life form that's going through the canyon, and then you got the dry life form, which is the land. And when I made the post, I actually brought forward a small little poem that I actually put together just looking at the image, which is: the placement of our steps flow like water, creating steps for those to follow, a new generation developing, bringing a new sense of living, to maintain what has been, sustain what is believed in, and continue to let the water flow, for the new generation is to see how far they can grow. And my thought process behind that small little writing: the placement of our steps flow like water. Now, when you look back into our own family history, the footsteps that were taken before your own ascension, there were footsteps that were taken to actually be able to bring you into this life form. Creating steps for those to follow, which is what those before our generation is, or before your generation. Those before your generation took some steps for you to be able to follow those steps, so that way you're not going to be entering into this world feeling completely lost. A new generation developing. Myself, you, or maybe another individual who is out there, bringing a new sense of living. And with this is where everybody has their own sense of living. Everyone has their own perspective of how to actually survive within this lifetime. However, we are the new generation that is going to be bringing that sense of living, continuing on. We become the people who are creating the footsteps for those to follow, because within our own perspectives, we're actually going to be leaving a pathway for others to actually either learn from, live through, or avoid due to how summarized those footsteps are. To maintain what has been, sustain what is believed in. And through these footsteps that are taken before us, within our people, there is a belief, and there's a tradition, a culture. That is where to sustain what has been, what is, and what is current, we got to sustain what is believed in, and continue to let the water flow, for the new generation is to see how far they can grow. Each individual, each person within each generation has the potential of actually becoming further and flowing more with the water that is within him and the fire that's within him. There is so much to ignite that's within you to be able to go further than what the water has flowed before, creating a streamlined acknowledgement of self within a new generation to actually see the capabilities, the potential, to flow further than what has already been flowed before. And that's pretty much how this image itself came about when I took this photo. It is a photo that is the very first one that I snapped on that day, and it is the very first photo that's going to begin this whole series. There's going to be a whole lot more photos to get to, but I'm with it because, like I said earlier, this whole series is beginning of 2022, and it's going to end December 31st, 2022. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see how far this project is actually going to go, what this project is actually going to uncover in terms of story, in terms of myself as a photographer, being landscape and then diving into portrait, and the third being the style in which is going to be meaning more than just a simple landscape photo, more than a photo that can be printed and hung up. And I cannot be more excited to actually be able to actually dive into what is to come. And with that being said, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of the Black and White Monochrome Legacy series. See you in the next one. Let me get some more coffee.